So here we go. A lot of people are probably wondering, well, by a lot, I mean approximately 7 of you, probably wondering what it is that I'm going to be ranting on. Because, like I said, it's something that a lot of people had been asking me to talk about. And, sadly, most of them probably have no idea where my channel is now. So, I think maybe about 5 people who are subscribed to me right now actually were ones that asked me this. But before, I have been asked a lot to talk about this and what my opinion is on it and what do I think of it. And to be perfectly honest, my opinion is probably something that some people will not want to hear. It's probably something that a lot of people are going to throw a fit about and be upset about because I dared to say this or didn't do this or whatever. But it's about Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. Now, there has been so much controversy about it. There has been so much. Everyone's been trying, and I mean trying, to find every single possible excuse to bash on the game, including pointing out glitches that are present in almost all of its contemporaries and saying that this somehow proves that it's not as good as said contemporaries with the exact same glitches. Um, but truth be told, um, there have also been people who have gone so far as to, talk it up unnecessarily. Putting out BS to get people to buy it or rent it, like how it's got a character creator and everything in it. Yeah, I actually saw someone put that in a review. It was complete, total, and utter BS. At any rate, though, but I have seen more hate for this game. I swear to God, people who are telling outright lies in order to bash it too, even talking about how the control scheme is worse and more repetitive. No, actually, it's a lot more varied now, a lot more in depth. Requires a lot more, focus. You can pull off some extremely deadly combos, yes, but you have to have your timing right. You have to have your, um, you have to have your speed right. There's the chance that your opponent is going to be able to counter. All that good stuff. Um, it's just seriously, it's not quite the button masher people like to try to claim it is. The first one was by a long shot a button masher. Heck, the Budokai Tenkaichi games have always been, to a point, a button masher. It's one of their weaknesses, and this finally put a bit more of a variance in it. And I like it. I like that. I like that very much. I said that. Just from the demo, and the demo wasn't even the perfected control scheme yet, but you could actually see that they massively improved the controls. Graphics, those are. See, this is the problem. Everything with this game is severely subjective. There are some people who wish that they'd made it even more real looking, to the point where they look almost actually human. Problem is, you really can't do that with an anime character unless you're gonna essentially redesign them. And then there are other people who think that they should have kept it more cartoonish and less 3D map, or 3D models and everything. All that good stuff. Um, I think it's fine. I really do. I think that it's almost impossible to use the scope of a full battlefield like that and still keep a 2D looking model. Um, I mean, everyone keeps pointing to the Naruto Storm games. It's like the Ultimate Ninja Storm and Storm 2. It's like, yeah, there's a couple of problems there. First and foremost, frankly, it can sometimes look downright ridiculous. I'm sorry, but it can. When you've got these 3D models that are not. Second of all, the environments also suffer because, I mean, you were talking about people who are sitting there praising the living crap out of the backgrounds, but then they want the character models to stay cartoonish. It's like, oh my god. So you can't have both. You gotta pick one. Okay, but they did change a lot. They did, and some of it I do miss, but some of it I like. I welcome it. There are a lot of people who throw fits about certain types of levels now. First and foremost, I should explain the biggest change that they made. There's no story mode per se. There's a galaxy mode where you play through a little sort of quasi story created for each character, and I mean each character, every single character. and you gotta play through missions. Basically, they're called missions. Each one has an objective that you have to complete in order to continue. At least it's not quite as bad as the objectives from like Budokai 1 or Budokai Tenkaichi 1. I mean, oh my god, seriously, having to use the Kaioken attack in order to beat who was it? I forget, Rakum I think or Nappa, one of the two. And you couldn't do it until you actually used your secondary move to activate the Kaioken. Then you could do it. So you had to sit there basically trying to wait until your blast gauge filled up enough to activate the Kaioken, and then you could actually use one of your techniques. It's frankly kind of stupid to make it so that you can't use a technique unless you use a secondary backup first, but I digress. That's beside the point. They do have objectives, though, like beat the opponent before the time runs out. Some of them don't even require you to beat the opponent. Like how many hits can you land before time runs out, or how many of them can. Well, it's like never ending. Like how many of these opponents can you dispatch before time runs out, so on and so forth. And of course, as time goes by and as you kill them, they become progressively harder and harder. Yeah, they're cute that way. Wow. But, and I mean progressively harder. So, you're going to definitely notice a shift in difficulty as it continues. But, to be fair, I mean, I can usually wind up getting, like, A's and whatnot just by taking out 3 of them. They do crank up the difficulty, but they're not unreasonable in realizing that fact. So, let's see, what else? Oh yeah, okay, there's other ones where, Raging Soul mode. Here's an interesting thing. Raging Soul actually allows you to continue your combos. And what you do is you power up your key meter all the way to the maximum, then you push R1. And it activates Raging Soul. And what it does is you basically have unlimited energy to be zipping around. You teleport around. You can continue combos beyond the normal 5-hit thing. You basically wind up smashing them around, sending them around, flying them all over the place. If you keep it going, you can have one continuous combo that can take out like 15,000 health if you do it well. That's without items to up your strength. Now, again, there are ways though to break out of it, so it's not like it's impossible if it's happening to you either. There are modes where you have to start in Raging Soul and you have to beat the opponent before it runs out, which, if you can get it going right, is actually fairly easy to do. There's also an item, though, called Unexpected Blow that actually allows you to continue. See, here's another problem with Raging Soul, is that although your energy is somewhat unlimited, you have no supers. You can't use them. So you're entirely limited to melee combat, which it does power up a little bit, too. But your defense seems to go down just a hair. I've noticed. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me, but it seems like your defense goes down too. But here's some fun for you. With Unexpected Blow, you can use super attacks and even your ultimate attack with significantly less key usage. However, you can only use it when the first half of the meter still has key in it. Once it gets down below, no, you're just like normal. If it's below that line, you can't use anything. So that's that. But, there's stuff like that. There's other things where you have to start in something called near death, where literally one hit will kill you. But your attacks and your super attacks, all of them are way powered up. And again, provided you use strategy, and this is what I love about it, I actually like these stages. You use strategy, you plan ahead. You always have to have your next move planned before you make it, and you have to be able to adapt. But if you do it, you can clear these levels. I can usually clear them fairly quickly. Some of them have been harder than others, I'm not going to lie. But usually fairly quickly you can, clear them out. But I digress. Moving on. You have, this is basically your story mode, though. They're all missions for each character. Now, why did they do this? You're probably going to be asking. Well, here's why they did it. It's frankly because of you. Not you specifically, but the fans. Guys, I mean seriously, you've heard everybody sitting there constantly whining and complaining and demanding something new. Oh, I want something new. Oh, why can't they do something different? Oh, it's the same story over and over again. And so they did away with it. They have the missions, which are loosely based on actual fights that the characters were in, but and a couple of what ifs, like different things like the Ginyu Force turning on Frieza, so on and so forth. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is, basically, the reason that all this has happened is because of the fans complaining. And then when they got exactly what they wanted, a new way to play it, not the same old story, brand new way to play it, they threw a fit. Now, there's a reason, though, that a lot of games are very, very reluctant to add anything to Dragon Ball. It's because when they've done it before, people treat it like it's canon, like it actually happened.